Hello folks, and welcome back to True Crime Phenomenon. This is Josh coming back with another Jeremy Dewitte video. By way of introduction, Jeremy Dewitte is a serial police impersonator going back to his first arrest in 1998 while he was in the Police Explorers program. He brandished his Police Explorers badge and stole $14 worth of gas. This interview stems back to his arrest on March 23rd of 2021, which led to Sergeant Vidler getting fired and Corporal Ramsey getting an unpaid suspension. Deep background into the story, we're not going to get into it now, but this is just an overview. This interview takes place on May 13th, 2021 at 3:11 p.m. between Sergeant Justin Wall of the Professional Standards Division and Major Reginald Hosey, who was over the motors unit at the time of this arrest, and he's a very key figure in everything that happened. Now, Major Hosey wrote a memorandum on the 29th of March 2021 to Captain Espinoza requesting that the traffic stop arrest be reviewed by the Professional Standards Division. So thank you, Major Hosey. You're essentially responsible for a good cop being fired and a felonious criminal getting a shorter sentence than he deserved. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. You know, there's a lot of waffling, a lot of changing of stories. You know, he basically comes out and says, do not engage Metro State in any way, and then kind of backpedals on that after the internal affairs guys ask him a few questions. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the other side.
I'm Sergeant Justin Wall of the Orange County Sheriff's Office Professional Standards Section. Today's date is May 13th, 2021, and the current time is 3:11 p.m. This interview is being conducted at the Sheriff's Office Central Operations Center located at 2500 West Colonial Drive. I'm interviewing. Can you just state your name and rank for me?
Major Reginald Hosey.
Major Hosey, are you aware that I'm recording this interview?
Yes, I am.
Has anyone threatened, coerced, or offered you any preferential treatment to give this statement?
No.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol that may impair your testimony?
No.
Can you raise your right hand so I can swear you in? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you are to provide will be true and correct?
Yes.
Okay. Major Hosey, as we kind of briefly discussed, I'm investigating a complaint regarding Sergeant Vidler and Corporal Ramsey that was brought forward. In front of you is a memorandum that it looks like you authored. Did you author that memorandum?
Yes, I did.
Just for the recording, it's authored on March 29th, 2021 to Captain Espinoza. In that memorandum, you expressed your request for the Professional Standards Section to look into a traffic stop that occurred on March 23rd, 2021. What was it that you were specifically looking for when you authored that memorandum?
What I was looking into and kind of questioning was if the arrest from the traffic stop was valid. I think when we originally looked at it, we understood that there was probable cause for the actual traffic stop, but the actual arrest we did have, or I did have questions about, and that's why I was requesting that Professional Standards look into it.
Okay. And through my investigation, it's come to my attention that you had a meeting in the days after Mr. Dewitte's arrest with Lieutenant Wacker and Corporal Ramsey. Do you recall that meeting?
Yes, I do.
What was the discussion about in that meeting?
Well, that particular meeting, because I don't necessarily know that it was a planned meeting in the sense that I had it on my calendar, but I do remember making contact or calling Lieutenant Wacker and asking him if he and Corporal Ramsey could come to the office because I wanted to talk to them. They did come to the office here at CLC 2500 West Colonial, and we met in my office, and I specifically told them that I was telling Corporal Ramsey, knowing his previous involvement with a large case dealing with Jeremy Dewitte, and he and Sergeant Vidler were involved in. And based on this particular arrest that I viewed on body cam and obviously knew about, I want to give Corporal Ramsey specific direction in front of his lieutenant to say, hey, listen, do not engage Mr. Dewitte in reference to anything. So, it was more to steer him away from that, to ensure that he doesn't go after him or do any type of traffic stop or something like that that may lead to, someone may think that was questionable, whatever.
And then I changed that standing order to they are untouchable. So do not do any engagement whatsoever unless it's a forcible felony.
When did you?
The day after Keith was relieved.
So it was more so just to protect him. But I also told him, I said, I'm not requesting that you turn a blind eye to violations of the law, serious violations of the law. I think some of the minor stuff that we have discretion with, he probably shouldn't engage at this time because of what was going on.
Okay, so in other words, just use discretion.
Yes.
Okay. And during that meeting, you learned Corporal Ramsey was part of this.
Yes, during that meeting. So after I gave that direction, Corporal Ramsey stated to me, he said, hey, just want to let you know, I interviewed Jeremy Dewitte after Sergeant Vittler made the arrest. And I was like, it caught me off guard. I was shocked because, I only saw the body-worn camera video or footage from Sergeant Vittler's body-worn camera. I didn't know that Corporal Ramsey was involved until he told me that. And so when he told me that he interviewed him at the Sector 4 substation, I said, all right, we're finished. And I told him I don't want to hear anything else, because I didn't know if potentially he would be implicated in the investigation as well.
Okay. During that meeting, did Corporal Ramsey express any or make any statements questioning probable cause in the stop?
I don't recall that. If he tried to say something like that, I was, like I said, when he made the statement about interviewing, I cut him off and said, there's no reason to have any more discussion about this. Okay. But I don't recall that.
Have you ever given any orders directly relating to Metro State?
No, I haven't.
Okay. I know you haven't been in this position for very long, since February, correct? So when you took over this particular area, were you aware of any orders, standing orders that were in place regarding Metro State?
No, I was not aware of any orders. When I did come over to this position, I do remember meeting with Sergeant Vittler and Corporal Ramsey and Lieutenant Wacker, and they kind of gave me an update in reference to the large case that they had been working on, because they were getting me up to speed that, hey, they were still involved talking with the state attorney. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was a new assistant state attorney that was now taking the case on. So they were kind of getting me up to speed. They had mentioned that previously the chain of command, and if I'm not mistaken, they specifically mentioned Major Robert Ensueto, who was the actual major of SOD at the time, and Captain Sandy Carpenter, who was he's currently the traffic section commander. And I told them that they needed to wrap up that particular case that they were doing, finish it up. And they had mentioned that both of them at some point said, they could still not to continue to pursue that case by, so that's why they wanted them to wrap it up. But they also told them to use discretion as well when it comes to engaging Mr. Dewitte. So not that they were told they couldn't do anything.
Okay. And just to be clear, your familiarization with that came from Sergeant Vittler and Corporal Ramsey. It didn't come from Major Ensueto.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that you know about this investigation you'd like to add?
No.
All right. The current time is 3:19 p.m. and that concludes this interview.
All right, folks, going to wrap it up for this video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.